Chapter 10, Common Errors. The comma. Independent clauses. A sentence that consists of two or more independent clauses is called a compound sentence. When the independent clauses are joined by the conjunction and, but, or, nor, for, or yet, separate the clauses with the comma unless they are very short. Example, I called and she answered. I called is an independent clause and she answered is an independent clause. But since the sentence is short, you do not need a comma. Garrett may work in the garden, or you may attend the concert. Garrett may work in the garden is a complete sentence, and he may attend a concert is a complete sentence. They're joined by the conjunction or, but they're long, so they do need a comma before. A good way to learn this, if there's a subject word after the comma, after the conjunction, there is a comma before the conjunction. Insert a comma after most introductory words, phrases, or clauses that come before the independent clause. Example, in other words, the course is designed to develop basic skills. See how the course is designed to develop basic skills is a complete sentence, and this is just introductory. No, you are not late for the last session. When the package arrives, that is a dependent sentence because it has a subject, package, and arrives, but it's a dependent clause. It is not a complete sentence because it doesn't make sense by itself. Check its contents to make sure nothing is a complete sentence by itself, therefore it's an independent clause. When you have a dependent clause in the beginning, put a comma, then you have the independent clause. Insert a comma after each item in a series. Could be words, phrases, or clauses, except in the last item. I invited Maria, Tyrone, and Joe to the beach party. You have a comma after Maria, Tyrone, but not Joe, because that's the last item. Zach did not tell us where he would meet, comma, whom he was with, comma, or when his flight would arrive. Those are all clauses, and they're separated by commas. I scored 76, 95, and 87 on the last three quizzes. Do not use commas when each item in the sentence is connected by and, but, or nor. We need Vince and George and Sarit to watch the monitors. Neither Don nor Sue nor Owen were available. Non-essential elements. Non-essential elements consist of information that is not necessary to the meaning of the sentence. They include appositives, interrupting expressions, and non-restrictive phrases or clauses. Appositives are words or phrases that rename a preceding noun or pronoun. Commas are used because they are not essential to the meaning of the sentence, but provide further identification of a noun or pronoun. Sue Ross, the president, will preside at the annual meeting next month. The president adds additional identification to the subject, which is Sue Ross. Brian Love, a real estate broker, will respond to your question. If you look at the words Brian Love will respond to your question, that is all the essential information you need. A real estate broker is additional information. Their first song, written while they were teenagers, was a tremendous success. You see that the first song was a tremendous success is all the essential information, and the fact that it was written while they were teenagers is additional information. Interrupting expressions, also called parenthetical expressions, include non-essential words and phrases such as furthermore, in addition, however, and of course. You'll always surround those in commas. Ruth will, of course, accept your dinner invitation. See how we say Ruth will accept your dinner invitation and that's an interrupt. The of course is an interrupting phrase. Benner, however, is an exceptionally talented pianist. However, is not necessary, and it is surrounded by commas. Friday's ball game, on the other hand, may attract a lot of students. Same concept, on the other hand, is not important, so therefore it needs to be surrounded by commas. Non-essential elements include phrases or clauses that explain or describe the noun or pronoun they modify. However, the information is considered non-essential because it is not necessary to the understanding of the meaning. An example, Mr. Klein, who works at the President's office, will address the March meeting. If we leave out the words in red, it says Mr. Klein will address the March meeting. That is all the essential information. We have been unable to complete the contract which you had negotiated so successfully. The fact that which you had negotiated so successfully is non-essential. Restrictive phrases. Do not set off restrictive phrases or clauses, those that are essential to the meaning of the sentence. For example, those people who are registered to vote may cast their ballots in the school board election. Here it is essential because if you're not registered to vote, you may not cast your ballot. The Lundgren bid arrived after we had made our decision. That is essential information because we could no longer look at the Lundgren bid because we've already made our decision. Consecutive adjectives. Use commas to separate consecutive adjectives that are parallel in construction and not joined by a conjunction. Example, Joyce is a sincere, delightful person. If you can say Joyce is a sincere and delightful person, you can put a comma there. That's needed. The tall, handsome man is my husband. If you can say the tall and handsome man is my husband, you need the comma instead of the end. They are looking for an intelligent, enterprising young person. Same thing. They are looking for an intelligent and enterprising young person. So therefore you take out the and make sure it's a comma. The following sentence does not need a comma. Do you know why? She drove a tiny sports car. Well, the reason why you don't need a comma between tiny and sports, because you cannot say she drove a tiny and sports car. It's just a tiny sports car. Quotations. Use commas to set off the exact words of the speaker. Do not set off an indirect quotation. An indirect quotation is a rewording of the person's exact words. Betty said, "The flowers are beautiful." That's a direct quotation. She actually said that. But here we have Jane asked the director whether we should return our music after the concert. She didn't say those exact words. She asked a question, so therefore it's indirect quotation, and no commas are needed. When a direct quotation is broken up into two parts, place a comma after the first part of the quotation. That's inside the quotation marks, and another before the second part. Example, the class colors, here we have the comma before, said Dylan, and then we have the comma after, are pink and purple. Amanda stated, comma before, I believe you made the right decision. Note, commas and periods at the end of a quotation are always placed inside of quotation marks. Remember, this only refers to quotations. Words that are separated by or highlighted by quotation marks do not need periods unless they are complete sentence. Dates and addresses. Use commas to set off the year when it follows the month and day, or to separate the weekday from the calendar date. Commas are not required when only the month and year are given, or when military style is used in expressing dates. May 9th, 2018, is the deadline for filing the application. We received the laptop in June of 2010. No commas needed there because it's just the month and the year. The perishable goods were shipped by air freight on Thursday, April 15th, 2011. Direct addresses and titles. A direct address and titles. Use commas to set off a person's name or title when addressing the person directly. Examples. Please reserve a conference room, Noel, for October 14th. Thanks for helping me with my homework, Dad. Here we have Noel and Dad being directly addressed. So you need the commas before. Use commas after names of people when academic and professional titles are used. Do not separate personal titles such as junior, senior, the second, or the third unless you know that the individual prefers to do so. Example, Professor Herons, PhD, is a certified professional planner. See how we have the professional title surrounded in commas. Melissa Elbig, CPA, will lead the discussion. Her professional title is set off in commas. Here we have Todd Thompson, Jr. will arrive tomorrow. The junior is not a professional title and does not need to be set off by commas. Setting off LTD and INC, that's limited and incorporated. Unless use commas to set off abbreviations or words, Inc. and LTD, when they follow the names of the company, unless you know the official company name does not use a comma. For example, we will notify United Movers Incorporated, that's the Inc., of the change of address. Braniff Limited received an award. Confused and misused words. Farther means more distance, and further means to a greater degree or additional. Ashley can run farther than Chad. That's more distance. Tremaine is further along in math than George. That means he's to a greater degree. Sorry guys, don't know what happened. We'll just have to finish it like this. It's without an apostrophe is a possessive form of it. It's with an apostrophe means it is or it has. The bank will post its interest rate today. It's my turn. That means it is my turn. Lay and lie. Lay means to place or to set down an object. Lie means to rest or recline. Lay the pen on the desk. Let's place it on the desk. Tina, lie down and rest. That means to recline and rest. That is the end of chapter 10.